Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and if you came here because you're wondering what your first PRS or NRL 22 match might look like for you, or if you just want to see someone who's somewhat experienced at these matches fall flat on their face, then you are in the right video. So hang on just a minute. I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory and then we're going to get right into the shooting. So for those of you who may not be regulars on the channel, this is our B14R. Now, I bought this rifle a few weeks ago as a factory barreled action, and what you're going to see in the video I'm playing right now is pay attention to how hard that bolt close is closing. I wasn't having much luck with accuracy or ease of bolt operation with the factory barrel B14R. So what I did was I ordered an IBI Prefit barrel and I installed that myself, and as you're gonna see, the barrel runs much more smoothly. So what I decided to do, because there was a match coming up the very next day, I had zero time behind the gun as far as getting to know how this gun's gonna react in certain temperatures and at certain distances. I decided, you know what, let's shoot this like a true beginner. So the very first thing we did was put this thing on the bench. We put 30 rounds of Ely 10X through it. We got our muzzle velocities recorded and we entered that into Straylock Pro, and we kind of built a cheat sheet. Now, I didn't verify any dope. I didn't do any shooting at distance outside of 50-yard shooting that you're seeing on the video right now. That's the only rounds we shot through this. So 30 total rounds down this new barreled action. So with the gun zeroed at 50 yards and our muzzle velocity entered into Straylock to give us a kind of cheater sheet for elevation while we were shooting the next day, we packed everything up and we headed out to VOD to try our hand at probably the hardest single day rimfire match in the nation. So welcome to the Virtue of Defense range in Old Fort, North Carolina. And what you're seeing right now is me zeroing. So most matches you go to are going to give you the chance to zero check in the morning, and this is going to be the first signs of trouble for me. So if you're looking at the impacts on paper, you're going to notice that the rounds are not impacting where I'm aiming, and they actually start out like 2 or 3 tenths to the right. I move the optic and then they kind of center up and then they start drifting left, and then I have kind of like a flyer out. And basically what happens is my zero is just drifting all around. And I think what's going on here is the barrel is not totally shot in and it's kind of working itself in while we're out here in the range. So probably not the best way to start out a match like this. So with the gun zeroed in and the squad's broken down, we head to our very first stage.
Well, I'm talking about me, son.
So for this stage, there's a KYL rack at 110 yards and you're shooting this off a prop. The problem is the very first time you miss, that stage is over for you. And we're going in with a gun that was all over the place on the zero with no verified dope. Not much of a chance for success here. And there you have it. I shoot 0 out of 8 possible targets, and that is crushing for my mental. So here what you're seeing is our second stage. Now there's targets kind of sporadically out through here, and they're not placed in any order, and these targets are kind of hard to find in the order you need to shoot them.
It's my own glass.
So here you're seeing me shoot at this first target, and that is actually the second target, but I don't see the first target. So you're gonna see that first shot is gonna drop low, and kudos to me and Ely 10X because I see that shot fall low. I make a correction, hold over his back, and we actually end up hitting the target on our second shot, which does not count because it's the wrong target. So then we're going to continue on engaging the targets in the correct order, and we're going to end up scoring a few points here, but we're not really going to make much headway here.
Impact. There you go, JT.
Which one did I miss?
I don't remember. Impact. Watch it. Impact. Yeah, it's 59, I was 58. Impact. Yeah, I was pissed.
So I was on the fence about showing this stage because I don't think it's going to look very good, but it is what it is, so I'm going to show it because it is what happened. So this is a mover stage. There's a mover. It's on the edge of the wood line, and then behind it are two circles. Now I'm running my scope camera so you can see this. The problem is I'm running the scope camera. It's extremely bright in the field where we're shooting from and kind of dark in the woods where we need to hit these targets. And just flat out, I cannot see my reticle. I can kind of tell where my reticle is, but you're gonna see that I'm shooting and I'm just trying to find my reticle. I'm trying to find the targets, and I'm just trying to wish rounds on the targets, and it's not really gonna work out that great for me.
You shot the same, so you need to go to one up the hill, Josh. All right, your first move, top mover, buddy. First circle.
You ever tried any of that already prepped or made dasher brass?
The impact. One up the hill, Josh.
So now we're finally able to make a couple impacts because we're holding over, and I'm just really struggling to see the reticle or my target, and I'm kind of bouncing back and forth, and I just kind of fell apart mentally on this stage, not being able to see my reticle. It's the first time that's ever happened to me, and so it kind of threw me through a loop mentally, and I didn't really know how to react. So for this stage, there are two targets 170 yards into the wood line. They are side by side, and we just have to shoot off at all these little positions. This is not going to pose much trouble for me because the targets are actually fairly tall for their distance. The biggest thing that's sticking out to me while I'm shooting this match is that not having that verified dope, not going out and, you know, putting all your information into a kestrel or stray lock and then verifying that out to distance is really kicking my butt, because none of what I wrote down on my cheat sheet is actually lining up for me. I don't really know where my zero is on the rifle because it was shifting around during the zero check. And now I'm missing targets high, low, left, and right. And I don't know if it's wind or if it's the rifle, and that's an extremely bad feeling. So that's a huge takeaway. If you're gonna shoot a match, it doesn't really matter how much gear you do or don't bring. Heck, I borrowed a second magazine when I got to this match just so I could have a spare mag. The gun is working, you know, pretty decently, but not knowing that my dope is correct is just absolutely killing me. It's killing me not being able to hit targets, and mentally, it's just really messing up my game. I'm having trouble concentrating on what I'm supposed to do because I'm so worried about where my dope is, if I'm gonna actually hit anything I need to hit, and what's gonna happen when I pull that trigger.
You went right underneath it.
Okay, and so for the last stage that I recorded here, which was our stage 5, this stage we are shooting at little tiny triangles, and they kind of go up the hill at a very crazy angle. And the problem is they're hanging on T-posts, and we're shooting off of this prop. It's not the most stable thing in the world, but when you hit the target, it actually starts swinging quite a bit. You get in this kind of weird mental battle with yourself about waiting for the target to stop moving and getting the hit, or trying to get a hit while it's still swinging a little bit and saving yourself some time. And I end up missing a couple trying to shoot them while they're swinging. I end up hitting a couple of good doubles.
Time, sir?
28.
And then at the very end of the stage here, I'm trying to find the targets, and these targets are so well concealed for some of these stages that I couldn't actually find the target I needed to find. So I just went ahead and shot at the wrong target because I just kind of out of frustration wanted to at least shoot at something for my last 2 shots.
I think you're on the wrong target.
Yeah, I think I was too. So a big thanks to Chris Simmons for setting up that course of fire and running those matches out there at VOD in Old Fort, North Carolina. This guy always makes crazy hard courses of fire. I mean, we're talking about a guy who paints targets black and sticks them in the wood line so you have a hard time seeing them. The match we shot before this, which was a team match, he actually painted them camouflage pattern. So if you're looking for a very hard course of fire, then just go to one of Chris Simmons' matches and it will definitely challenge you on some level. So big thanks also to Athlon. They came out and supported the match. We also had a winner at our local range who won the first give back. And if you don't know what that program is, you can win $5,000 cash and $5,000 in gear just by entering a match you shot without even using Athlon products. Now there's a separate one if you're finishing top 3 with an Athlon product, but at the end of this video, stick around because I'm gonna play you the video on how exactly you go about doing that and how that all works. But big congratulations to Andrew, he was the local winner. So a big takeaway for brand new shooters or maybe shooters who just haven't shot in something like this, I would say the most important thing is for sure have your dope lined out. What I mean by that, get a dead nuts 50-yard zero, use a Kestrel or whatever it is you use for a ballistic app. Get all your information put in there, but double, triple check that. You need to go out to distance, 100, 150, 200, 225, 250, whatever yardage you think you're gonna shoot in a match, you need to verify your dope. I went out there on a hope and a prayer with some dope out of Straylock. It didn't line up at all and it completely wrecked my day. Now, I was shooting for half pack. I really felt like I finished like in the bottom 10. There were about, I think 52 or 53 shooters that actually attended the event. I ended up finishing 20th, which was pretty freaking amazing for me because I really felt like I placed way lower than that and I struggled a lot. So if you were paying close attention, you see I did have to clear a few malfunctions on this rifle. I'm going to stake the ejector. Apparently that's the fix for that. It's extracting everything, but I did have a few that didn't eject out of the B14R. Outside of that, I think I'm going to keep putting this thing through its paces. I'm going to get some trick parts from Anarchy Outdoors. They sell a lot of Bergara and Ruger parts, so I want to put some parts on here, see how that performs, and kind of see where this gun can go from here, and if it's something that I'm going to adopt permanently as a competition rifle. But thanks for coming out to the range with me, guys. I appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one.
Athlon has always supported the 2A industry. This year, we're stepping it up. We want to help grow the shooting sports community, and what better way to do that than offer a cash payout? The more you shoot, the more chances you have to win. You don't even have to use an Athlon optic. Just compete in a shooting event locally, regionally, or nationally, and log it on our website to be entered. We'll draw 4 names throughout the year, and even meet the winners at their next match to present them with their $5,000 cash prize and a $5,000 prize package. We've appreciated all the support our community has shown us through the years. So to pay it back, if you take first, second, or third using an Athlon optic, you're automatically entered into the grand prize drawing. With a $20,000 cash prize, $5,000 in optics, that's a $25,000 prize package to keep you shooting for the next year. Get out there and make an impact. Visit our website for more information.